Why Think and Grow Rich still outperforms 99% of modern self-help, and why most people miss the point. Stick around until the very end, because the final insight might just flip your entire perspective on success. We've featured a powerful bonus channel at the conclusion of this video that you won't want to miss. Welcome to Leveraged Success, your personal self-growth channel for your health and wealth, for your better future self. Long before the billion-dollar self-help industry existed, there was Napoleon Hill. Born in a one-room cabin in 1883, Hill's life changed forever when he was approached with a challenge that would quietly shape history. Industrialist Andrew Carnegie tasked the young man with a monumental mission: to study the lives of the richest and most successful individuals of his time and figure out exactly what separated them from everyone else. For 20 years, Hill immersed himself in the lives of over 500 giants of industry, from inventors like Thomas Edison to entrepreneurs like Henry Ford. He was searching for a secret formula, a common thread among the era's most influential figures. The result of this two-decade odyssey was his 1937 masterpiece, Think and Grow Rich. More than just a book about money, this work serves as a blueprint for mastering the mind. It has sold over 100 million copies and remains the granddaddy of all success literature for a reason. There is a depth to this story that most people never fully appreciate, and today we are breaking down the philosophy that proves success isn't about luck. It's about a specific way of thinking. Not their luck, not their background, not even their intelligence. What he discovered was something far less obvious and far more uncomfortable. The story he tells isn't about money. It's about how people think. Imagine someone with a burning desire, not a wish, not a vague hope, but a precise, obsessive goal. Hill argues that this is where everything starts. Most people never get past this stage. They say they want success, but their desire is weak, negotiable, easily replaced by comfort. The people he studied were different. Their goals were so clear and emotionally charged that they became non-negotiable. From there, the story shifts into belief. Not blind optimism, but a trained conviction. Hill explains that the mind doesn't just reflect reality, it shapes it. If someone constantly doubts themselves, hesitates, and expects failure, their actions will quietly align with that expectation. On the other hand, when belief is deliberately built, through repetition, visualization, and focus, it begins to influence decisions, persistence, and behavior. This is where most readers misunderstand the book. They treat belief like magic. Hill treats it like conditioning. Then comes one of the most overlooked ideas: specialized knowledge. Hill makes it clear that general knowledge, what most people spend years collecting, is rarely what creates wealth. Instead, success comes from focused, applicable knowledge combined with action. The people he studied didn't know everything. They knew exactly what mattered and built networks, teams, and systems around it. The story continues into decision. Hill noticed that successful people make decisions quickly and change them slowly. Unsuccessful people do the opposite. They hesitate, overthink, and then abandon their choices at the first sign of difficulty. This pattern alone explains why so many people stay stuck. It's not lack of opportunity. It's an inability to commit. And then comes persistence, the part nobody likes to hear. Hill describes persistence as the filter that eliminates most people. Everyone starts with excitement. Almost no one continues when things get difficult, uncertain, or slow. The people he studied weren't necessarily the smartest. They were the ones who refused to stop. They kept going long after the initial motivation disappeared. At this point, the story starts to reveal a deeper layer. Hill introduces the idea of the mastermind, the concept that no one builds success alone. Behind every major achievement is a network of aligned individuals exchanging ideas, energy, and support. This isn't just collaboration, it's strategic association. Who you surround yourself with directly influences your thinking, your standards, and ultimately, your results. And then comes the part that makes many people uncomfortable, the subconscious mind. Hill argues that your thoughts don't just stay in your head, they get impressed into your subconscious, which then influences your behavior automatically. This is why most people repeat the same financial patterns over and over again. It's not because they lack information, it's because their internal programming never changed. This ties directly into financial literacy, but not in the way most people expect. The book doesn't teach budgeting or investing strategies. It teaches something more fundamental: how people perceive value, opportunity, and risk. Most people are conditioned to seek security, avoid uncertainty, and trade time for money. The individuals Hill studied learned to think differently. They looked for leverage, for systems, for ways to multiply effort instead of just exchanging it. That's the real divide. By the time the story reaches its conclusion, the message becomes clear. Most people go through life reacting to circumstances, to fear, to opinions, to temporary setbacks. They drift between ideas, never committing long enough to see results. They want success, but only under comfortable conditions. The people Hill studied did the opposite. They chose a direction, trained their thinking, surrounded themselves strategically, and persisted long enough for results to become inevitable. That's why this book still stands above most modern self-help. Because it doesn't just tell you what to do, it forces you to confront how you think. And that's the part most people read and quietly ignore. If you found today's breakdown insightful, there is much more to explore. We have featured an incredible channel in the description below that is dedicated entirely to Napoleon Hill's powerful teachings. We highly recommend following them and diving into their content, where you'll find rare recordings and focused lessons designed to support anyone on their journey to success. Check out the link below to keep the momentum going. Thanks for watching Leveraged Success. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel for more content like this. Who do you know that would love this video? Share this with them. Your support helps us keep creating, and we'd love to have you and your nearest and dearest as part of our growing community. See you in the next video. Every Sunday, 9 a.m. UK time.